murder. Hello, Sydney.
The original terrifying story of a maniac and a man who lived after death, lived on human blood.
Hello, welcome to Ectoviolence. This is my first live stream, so we will see how this goes. If there's going to be anybody that pops by to watch, talk to me in the comments. Let me know if you have any questions. I will just be hanging out for a little while as long as there's people that show up. If not, I suppose I won't be. Hello. I guess the first thing I will do is just show off some things I got at an antique mall today because no one's in the chat yet. So, I got a couple TV guides. They were a dollar a piece, so I'm pretty happy with that. They do all have a bunch of smoking ads in them too, which that's funny to me. This one's a little more cursed. Also has a Virginia Slims ad on the back. It's at least mildly interesting to me. Let's see if we got anything cool in here. Oh, yeah. Schwarzenegger. The Running Man, network television premiere, ABC, 8 p.m. It's like story time. These are very interesting. A&E replayed the 1960 Republican National Convention. That's wild. Hey, Honey, I Shrunk the Kids. I'd watch that. Daffy Duck's Quackbusters. It's when they put a bunch of old episodes of Looney Tunes together and made it look like they were connected in a Ghostbusters Daffy Duck story. Oh, Goof Troop, huh? Jetsons, Mr. Rogers, Chippendale. November 16th through the 20th. Literally, every one of them just full of cigarette ads. It's crazy. And this is probably the best one I got. Dolly Parton. This one has a Crest ad on the back, which is surprising. I was expecting cigarettes for sure. I see Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. This might be a really short Q&A. There's horrifying sounds coming from my apartment hallway, too. Bonanza. Alright. Got a couple issues of Fangoria. Got The Mummy. I'm a big fan of the 1999 version of The Mummy with Brendan Fraser, so I had to pick this up. It also has a little bit on Idle Hands. Sex, Drugs, and Severed Limbs. Classic Terror Reborn. And another Fangoria with Pitch Black on the front. Also articles on Scream 3 and Final Destination, so pretty necessary to pick up. And there was this booth at this antique mall that was specifically just had a bunch of Dolly stuff. Dolly Parton. So this is the newspaper for Dolly Parton fans. First Quarterly, Volume 1, Number 1. And it came with a bunch of other things. A little booklet for Dollywood. I literally paid $5 for all of these magazines and things. Well, not the Fangoria ones, but all the Dolly stuff came together. And this is why it caught my eye, because it has a bunch of National Enquirer and National Examiner stuff. And it's the old 90s. There's a bunch of 90s ones in here, like in there, and they're still the newspaper quality, you know. And one in particular caught my eye. I'll show you that one in a minute. Oh, look, there you go. More cigarette ads. That's ridiculous, isn't it? Oh, well, there's that. It was using my computer audio for one thing, not my mic. That's super lame. Anyway, vitamins guaranteed to boost energy and slow aging. This is the December 24th, 1991 National Examiner. My first Christmas, actually. Tragic Dolly quits country. This is the one that I had to get out of the stack. I went for this one specifically. So, National Examiner, April 27th, 1993. Chinese mafia executed Bruce Lee, then his son. Who will be their next victim? Oh, that's fucked up. That's messed up, bro. And that is everything that I got today. So please ask me some questions or something. This is going to be the shortest live stream ever. We'll talk about some VHS or something. Let's see. I'm going to talk about Jaws, because it's right behind me and no one's asking questions, so I'm just going to start rambling about stuff. I got a couple different versions of Jaws on VHS. And it's getting summer. I'm hot right now. The AC doesn't work in my apartment, so. This is one of the earlier versions. I don't know if it's the first version. It doesn't seem like it. It kind of does, but it's probably like the second, third maybe even. But I really like that copy. A sealed copy on widescreen edition. I've never opened this, obviously, and it has the universal little print there on the cellophane. So this one's open, however. The Anniversary Collector's Edition of Jaws, which is 2 tapes. Jaws Part 1, Jaws Part 2. I don't know why they separate. It's not Titanic. Over 75 minutes of bonus features, though. All right. Well. No one's here. It's just me. That's a bummer. Alright, well, let's go through some Scooby-Doo VHS real quick, I guess. I've been debating doing a video on this, so let me know if it's interesting or not. Scooby-Doo meets the Harlem Globetrotters. That one's sealed. Haven't opened it. Scooby-Doo Winter Wonder Dog. 4 winter-themed episodes of Scooby-Doo. Well, let's see here. There's a bunch that are just like compilations of episodes and stuff. Like classic Scooby-Doo mystery mix-up. Mystery mask mix-up, sorry. Plus bonus tune, Dexter's Laboratory. I have another one that has Powerpuff Girls as a bonus feature. This one has Yogi Bear and Mina and the Count as a special feature. Scooby-Doo, which witch is which and nowhere to hide. Just classic episodes of the original series. Scooby-Doo, a Halloween hassle at Dracula's castle. That's one of the episodes, and then Tar Monster. Bonus tunes, Winsome Witch and world premiere Blues Gang. I don't know what that is. Interesting, though. The creme de la creme is the Scooby-Doo on Zombie Island VHS, for me. I think that's my favorite of the animated Scooby-Doo's movies. Especially from this era, followed shortly by Scooby-Doo and the Witch's Ghost, which I'm also a huge fan of. That one has Tim Curry in it. And from that same series, Scooby-Doo and the Alien Invaders. And Scooby-Doo and the Cyber Chase. And this one here, Scooby-Doo and the Loch Ness Monster. That's a little bit later, but that same series of movies. This one I actually did have as a kid. This is not my original copy. I still have my original copy, but it's just the tape. And this one's actually really moldy, so it's good that I still have my original copy. Scooby-Doo meets Batman. Both episodes. Love to see that. One of the 80s movies, Scooby-Doo Goes Hollywood. That's a classic. I rewatched that pretty recently. Scooby-Doo and the Ghoul School. Now this era they also did Scooby-Doo and the Brew Brothers and Scooby-Doo and the Reluctant Werewolf. I want both of those on VHS because I love them as well. I just have not come across them yet. Haven't felt the need to order them online or anything, but... let's see. Is there anything we can do here that's interesting? Let's see. I'm pulling up YouTube. Doesn't look like it. So, I guess I am going to call it... Oh, thank you. Well, hey, the first chat of the night. I'll give it a few more minutes. Thank you, Wolf Paranormal. I appreciate it. It took about 2 years to get the first 1,000, and then about 2 months to get the next 500. I'm hoping it continues. I was just showing off some of the TV guides and stuff I got today. I went to a antique mall and got some like Dolly Parton TV guides and national examiners. Even came with a brochure for Dollywood, a vintage one. What year is this from? Because I'm curious. I really want to go to Dollywood now. I mean, I really wanted to before anyway, but I mean, this doesn't look just like the best time of your life. Like, thank you, and thanks for subscribing and watching. Oh yeah, this is from the year 2000, so perfect. Unlimited admissions to Dollywood through 12/30/2000. Season pass. Ooh, a gold season pass would cost you $69.99. $77 with tax. The first issue of the newspaper for Dolly Parton fans, first quarter, volume 1, number 1. These came in like a little pack. I paid $5 for it, and it just had a bunch of different things in it, and, well, this is one of the cooler ones. This is, you know, it's an official fan magazine, so it's people who like Dolly Parton, as opposed to, like, these weird National Examiner magazines. Bro, perfect question. I don't know if you could see, there's also, I have Gremlins is up there signed, Weekend at Bernie's, and The Lost Boys as well. So this one's signed by Sean Whalen and, what's her name? Wendell Josepher. So, if you know a lot about movies, you know who Sean Whalen is, but he's, and everything from, like, The People Under the Stairs to, obviously, Twister, That Thing You Do. And Wendell Josepher's the girl on the bucket hat on the chasing crew. May as well talk about these signed VHS while I'm at it. But you got Zach Galligan. I met him at a local horror convention here. And actually, this year, Joe Dante is going to be at that horror convention. I think that's in June. So I'm going to try to add his signature to this as well. Yeah, I can't wait for Twisters. I mean, you know, it's not going to be what the original was, but hopefully it's interesting and fun stuff still. Yeah, my podcast, we were down at in Wakita where they shot a lot of Twister, and we did like a film location tour of the locations in Oklahoma and Iowa. We've done a lot of weird Twister coverage. And Weekend at Bernie's, one of my favorite underrated classics. We met Terry Kaiser, and he's obviously in, what is he in, Friday the 13th part 4? Is he in 4? No, I can't remember which one he's in. He's also in Tammy and the T-Rex, but he's Bernie, obviously. Meeting him was like a dream. And we got to host some panels at a horror convention in Texas, in San Antonio. It was a Lost Boys specific convention, and our podcast was at the time called Frog Bros Podcast. So we were invited, and we got to interview a lot of the cast. Like I drank beers with Jason Patrick, and that's still like one of the craziest things I've ever done. But got a lot of signatures from that too. And Lost Boys is in my top 5 movies of all time, so it was just a surreal experience. I'm still thinking about it, and it's happened about a year and a half ago. It's wild. But there's Corey Feldman on there, Billy Wirth, who was one of the other vampires, Jason Patrick, G. Tom Mack, who did the theme song Cry Little Sister, and Jameson Newlander, Alan Frog himself. Yeah, it was in San Antonio. I live in the Kansas City area, and we drove down. It was, what was it called? Summer of Santa Carla, and it was done by, God, I can't even remember their production company now. It's bumming me out, but they do a bunch of stuff, and they're awesome, so. I got a bunch of other random signed stuff. Those are the only tapes I've gotten signed so far. Went to the premiere of the last Ghostbusters movie, and I got Paul Rudd's autograph, and who else? Oh, McKenna Grace from that movie. Emily Allen Lind, who was also in Doctor Sleep. Carrie Coon, which I really wanted to get. I really like her. And James A. Caster. So that was awesome. I love doing stuff like that. We like to go to a lot of events. Our podcast was, we never had more than, we were barely over 1,000 subscribers on that channel, and we did all this stuff with less than 1,000 subscribers and full-time jobs. Like, it's wild to think about. You're doing that one weekend, then you're just back to serving at a bar. Also picked up some Fangorias today. This one has pitch black on the front, and I didn't have it. And this booth at this antique mall always has them for $3 or $4, which is, I don't know if you know anything about collecting Fangorias. They can run anywhere from $10 to $40, especially in this condition. There also has articles on Scream 3 and Final Destination. So I'm always flipping through those. This one talks about the 1999 Mummy, and a huge fan of that as well. Also talks Idle Hands, so I was like, alright, I'm buying it. Done. Yeah, I'm hoping to... Yeah, oh, that's interesting. I've known people who are like haunted tour guides and stuff like that, and I was part of a local Ghostbusters group for a while. Ghostbusters is my number one. I'm kind of like one of those people who's super on the edge about everything paranormal and like aliens and Bigfoot and all that stuff. I love it all. I find it super interesting. I just don't actually believe in any of it, and I wish I did. I want to. I want to believe. As Mulder would say, I want it to be real. So you almost say I choose to believe when I really don't. I can't, but I want to. And I know I have a friend, Bob Anderson. He does a podcast called Bob After Dark. And I think he was lucky enough. I think he has an episode that's supposed to be coming out with Dan Aykroyd sometime, which is just crazy. That's interesting. Travel Channel, like one of those shows where they explore haunted stuff. That's pretty interesting. Those are more interesting than like some of the ghost hunter shows they have are a little Yeah, a lot of people can assure me that, and I respect it. I just, it's one of those things. I want to believe. I'm here for it, so keep doing it. Yeah, I'm definitely not 100% on those. Jesus Christ. Okay. Alright. Anyway. I'm sure that's a bot. Tiffany must really like Bigfoot. Oh, yeah. I've heard about those ones sound more interesting for sure. Because, like, there's ones where they have the professional ghost hunters that are like reality shows. And any reality show that's shot like that, everything's exaggerated. The music is exaggerated. It's a little over the top, but yeah, I'd like to do that sometime. I like going to haunted places and stuff, or supposedly haunted places, I was an extra on some TV shows that shot in Memphis when I lived there. One was on CMT. I was a stand-in for the guy from the oldest kid from Honey, I Shrunk the Kids. So I got to talk to him. There were some interesting people on that set. Not too many crazy people. The director was God, what's his name of that show? It was a show that was based around Sun Records, the record label for like Elvis and Carl Perkins and Johnny Cash and all them. And these days I'm in Kansas City area, and I've lived in Memphis and Phoenix as well. But yeah, then I was also on another show they shot down there, like Bluff City Law. It was for NBC, just as a background. I work on movies every few years, or TV shows, like randomly. Like I'll see an opportunity and I'll be like, oh, I'll do that if I have the time. Make it work. Yeah, hit me up. I can't guarantee I'll be free, but I'd be interested. I had a friend in Memphis that did haunted ghost tours. They like there's something specific that was really interesting in Memphis. I can't remember what it was. I think it was an old asylum. That doesn't sound right. No, it was an orphanage maybe. Something really weird about it. I forget. But this Ghostbusters charity group that I was a part of, we would always dress up in the outfits and everything, and so as a non-profit, we'd just go and do events and stuff like birthday parties, or sometimes you'd get invited to spooky places. I never got to go to one of them, but people would call like the Google phone number we had, and they would leave messages and being like, will you come and look at something? And I always wanted to be like, yeah, just take their money. But, we didn't. We're not evil. Like, yeah, I'll come over in a Ghostbusters outfit with a electronic proton pack and look around, but I don't know what I'm doing. It's funny, they actually released, Hasbro has a PKE meter coming out now that has, I think it has an EMF meter in it, like actually built into it, which is funny. Yeah, thanks for chatting. For sure, it's just Ectoviolence over there on Instagram as well, man. Thanks for stopping by and chatting with me. I got a new video that came out today, and I got another one coming out tomorrow. Probably more the next day. Let's see what else we got going on here. What do we want to talk about? What do we got around that I can just grab and be like, hey, look at this. And it's interesting. Other than this stuff that I've shown off like twice now. So I won't go too into depth, but I do have a video coming out tomorrow where I'll be talking about Night of the Living Dead and how and why it's in the public domain. If you wanted to, you could print copies of it on Blu-ray today and go and sell them legally. That's interesting to me, so I did a little video talking about that. It'll come out tomorrow, 11 a.m. Today I had a review of Nightmare on Elm Street 3 come out. Go check that out if you're interested. It's a VHS review. I also reviewed the first 2 VHS tapes already, so also go check those out. Been going for about 30 minutes, nothing too exciting going on. If you're in the chat and you got something to say, say it. Otherwise, I probably will be checking out pretty shortly here. In the meantime, for the next few minutes, I might just talk about some more old tapes I've got here. Something very aesthetically pleasing, this little set of tapes I have. these Alfred Hitchcock tapes. This one's Vertigo. It's very aesthetically pleasing. Good movie. And it sits perfectly next to this copy of The Birds. Which is, again, a very beautiful copy of The Birds on VHS. There's one more that fits this little collection that also is beautiful, and maybe my favorite of these three movies, Rear Window. I just love it when you stack them next to each other. It's just like, beautiful. But I do also have, doesn't fit like the aesthetic, but Strangers on a Train. And what horror collection is complete without Psycho on VHS? So I guess I'll go ahead and end this here in just a second, but if you stopped by, if you're a subscriber, if you've commented on one of my videos, thank you. And yeah, I guess that's all I've got for today. Thank you guys for getting me here to 1,500. Hopefully I'll be at 2,000 in a short period of time. We will keep going. All right, everybody. Thank you.
Ready for murder.
Hello, Sydney.
The original terrifying story of a maniac and a man who lived after death, lived on human blood.
Ready for murder.
Hello, Sydney.
The original terrifying story of a maniac and a man who lived after death, lived on human blood.